couple things. COVID, our average for September is approximately 15 students. We've got right now a couple of households that's got several students that run our numbers up a little bit. We're averaging about 3 or 4 staff members every day that's out for a positive test, but also there's some that are out for their children might be in quarantine. Our enrollment this year right now is 648, which is up a little bit from last year. We're proud of that. And then the only thing, item number 4, our next school board meeting was during fall break, and you can see that it's scheduled the week after fall break.
Well, you went through that in a hurry. Zip, zip, zip. I'd like to go back to COVID, please. I'm sure, I'm gonna do this so that everybody can understand me, because I want to be understood. I am vaccinated, and 6 feet apart, so I'm sure I'm safe and not doing anything to anybody. We all want to keep our kids in school. You notice this week, our Rogersville Review has told us that JRP is closed because of staffing trouble with COVID. We are so blessed to have as few cases as possible. But as a board member, I feel like it's my responsibility to bring up again that I would like to see a mask mandate at Rogersville City School. The governor has so ruled that parents can opt out, which is the law. We can't do anything about that. But for the safety of every child and every staff member and every family member and every grandparent, I would really like to see if we could not discuss masks. I know that it is a parent's prerogative to make decisions about their children. And I don't know where masks got so political, but it seems to me that it has totally jumped over from what is in the best interest of the school to some political football, which, you know, as a board member, if a child got COVID in this school, and God forbid that child died or was maimed in some form or fashion with all the different things that can happen. Since I've had COVID, been in the hospital, I feel like I can't address this. It is bad, it is wicked. If that child was fine, but gave it to Mr. Jarnigan, Mrs. Testerman, any teacher, any staff member, all these, in our school, all of our teachers deal with all of our children. We are so nurturing, we just take care of each other. It's a family. So I would hate to see one of our staff members have to go into the hospital, be on a vent, or heaven forbid, a family member, as you say, there are several, you said, in one family that have it. So, you know, I feel strongly enough that it's my responsibility as a board member to bring this up. Where it goes from here, it's out of my hands. But I do feel like I need to make the statement. I feel like there ought to be a mask mandate at Rogersville City School.
Judy, thank you so much. I know there's a lot of uncertainties about all the different things, you know, each day it changes from a lot of things, and I know Mr. Jarnigan is on top of that, the staff looks at it, and I would think, you know, that as you see and meet with other schools, you know, to sort of monitor that, and I would think they would be the ones that would be in place to make that decision. You know, as far as You know,
We set policy.
what if we need a policy, don't need a policy, whatever, but at least monitor it so that we are, you know, very conscious. I think everybody's conscious of that. You know, it's, we've got there's a lot of diseases out there, a lot of different things. There's probably gonna be more come up. But, you know, I guess, one of the things is, you know, this is America. We're independent, we make decisions, and, you know, one size doesn't fit all necessarily. But, and I appreciate your comments, and I think anybody else that has any comments about that.
The biggest thing I had calls about last year was not about the classrooms, because we all know when I was teaching, I had a tiny talk room, and you put 22 kids in there, and we were on top of each other. And if I were still here, I probably would have masks on, and I would strongly encourage my students. But the complaints I heard were not about in the building. It was in the gym, outside, playground, you know, anything outside. The students were still having to wear them. You know, that's where I feel like parents really got upset, or that's why they were contacting me. You know, my child's wearing this in gym, and they're coming back from gym with a headache. You know, and those places are large. You know, if we can't fit 25 kids in that gym 6 feet apart, we need to work on our math skills and, you know, measure. I think that can be done. You know, especially these smaller classrooms. And the teachers do a great job, the ones I've spoken to, of, you know, if the kids are in small groups, wear a mask. That's, to me, that's just common sense. If you're working with a partner, wear a mask. You know, and if they're sitting at their seat and they're in a really small classroom, you know, that's kind of out of our hands. But when you're asking a child to sit at a table with another child, right now, it bothers me thinking, you know, that's probably how we are spreading it here.
Well, I'll make a little comment. We changed some things about how they go to class, and we're spraying what we're doing, and I made some observations yesterday of students wearing masks. They'll wear them low, they'll wear them properly, and, you know, and there's, you know, it's two sides to every story on that, but, I have to compliment our staff. I mean, we've really been short-staffed this year, and a lot of people doing a lot of things, and that's different out of their comfort zone, and I appreciate what they've done on that. I know in the hospitals, people that were surgery nurses are having to be on the floor and all that. But, you know, I was in the gym one day addressing that, and the gym teachers had them in about 4 or 5 different groups doing activities where they wasn't all piled up together and that kind of thing. And we do have some situations where things are tight, but over and over, any parent and I've not had as much interaction with parents as I would if they were in the building, but over and over, they want us to have school. And that's, we've tried and working hard at that, but I have to give credit to our staff, not just teachers, but teacher assistants and all. And I know that, you know, we've struggled, you know, food service, just getting certain kinds of foods and stuff. So all this is unprecedented. It's a new day, and you know, we bought a new sprayer that's handheld that could go around more quickly, and got custodians working some extra to try to do some things. So we're making some progress toward trying to do that. But I know that you know, it's one of those things that you have to look at and see. But you know, it's our staff, the staff here, I'm just thoroughly impressed with how well they've done.
Yeah, and I think so too, you know, and, you know, that's, those people on the floor, they're the ones there knowing what needs to be done, what will work, what will not work. And I know this discussion will probably continue on as we have various other things, you know, pop up. And, you know, just like anything, you'll have one virus today and it'll mutate, and there'll be another virus tomorrow. And there'll be a lot of things. I think it's something we need to certainly keep watch on and look at. And, you know, things change. think the ones that really know and can help us or help run the school is administration. You know, I've always thought, you know, the director of the staff, they know what's going on, and I rely on them to give us advice and see what we need to do. All right, thought you had
What
something?
percentage of the students are wearing masks right now, roughly? Just,
I couldn't give you a percentage, but, you know, there's very few in the upper grades I see.
right.
Lower grades, there is some, and I don't know, Mr. Hartsick might could address that better than me. as well.
I wouldn't have the percentage either, but I will say this, to a person, every staff member in here encourages it. You know, it's evaluation time, and we've been in several classrooms, and almost every teacher has had a mask on when they're in close contact with students. If they're separated away from the board, they might take it down. I feel like leading by example is happening every day. I wouldn't know what the percentage is. You know, I could run some numbers and get some information from teachers and figure that out. But Mr. Jargon lives in the fact this staff is amazing. It's the common sense approach. We're doing everything we can, and we're encouraging kids to do the right thing. Politics aside, you know, everybody in here knows the challenge, and they're the ones suffering from it every day. I mean, this is a chess match, and this place is amazing with the willingness of the people to do what we got to do to make it happen every day. To do, like he said, to keep the kids in school. But I can get those numbers. It was a rough estimate, I guess you could say, if you want me to.
Right, I think that's a good discussion, and certainly, probably first of many discussions we'll have as things change. But Jim, thank you for bringing that up, and keeping it in the forefront to look and see what we can do. Because like you said, we're family, we want to do what's right for our kids, and you know, it's like every child matters. And there's a lot of different children out there. I think, you know, the common sense approach is one of the best. You know, we've all been parents, grandparents, and we know what we want, what we think's best for us. We know every child's different. But I think it's a discussion, good thing to have.